Hello everybody, it is Indy Meets Disney and we are in the middle of a special video series for you guys.
We are, so we decided to bring to you Distinctly Indy. Since our name is Indy Meets Disney, we want to do Disney videos for you, but we're also just going to do a quick set of videos about Indy, Indiana, which is our home state.
That's right. So today we're going on a mission looking for some of the best beef Manhattans we can find. So we are on a mission of some wanted beef Manhattans. We're looking for the juiciest, the most sloppiest beef Manhattans we can find in the state. So we got 3 locations we're heading to today. They're 3 locations we haven't been to in a long time, but we hear they're some of the best in the state.
Yeah, so things we're looking for in a beef Manhattan. What makes it a classic beef Manhattan?
So we've looked up the history of beef Manhattans, and they date back to the 1940s. They were founded right here in Indiana by some men that were working on a nuclear power plant back in Manhattan, New York.
Okay.
And they brought the idea of the Manhattan back here to Indiana, and they brought it to a little cafeteria here in Indiana, and they created the product, and they called it the Manhattan since they were working out in Manhattan.
Okay.
So the traditional Manhattan has 2 pieces of bread, and they take the beef, put it between the 2 slices of bread, cut it in half, push it to the sides, and they put a scoop of mashed potatoes in the middle, and they cover it with gravy. So that is a traditional Manhattan. So we're looking for that today. And what else are you looking for?
For me, I'm a really big fan of mashed potatoes. So I'm looking for really tasty mashed potatoes.
Okay.
And some good gravy. And probably just like not normal bread. Like not just like, oh, here's a slice of Wonder Bread out of the bag. I'm looking for some nice bread too. What about you?
Yeah, looking for some great flavor. Looking at price, see what's got the best price. Looking at quantity, who's gives you the best quantity at the price as well. So let's head out, see what we can find. So join us on this adventure, looking for the best beef Manhattans the state has to offer. Let's go do this.
Here we go, Indiana.
All right, we are on the road on our first stop looking for an Indiana beef Manhattan. So we are heading to the MCL Cafeteria. So what are you looking for?
In a beef Manhattan?
Yeah.
I am looking for not too soggy a bread. I think that kind of breaks the Manhattan. Looking for a nice pile of mashed potatoes on top, some good gravy, some good meat. What about you?
Yeah, I'm looking for kind of the traditional Manhattan. Looking for those flavors to come through that you expect in the Manhattan. That strong beef flavor. Looking for some great brown gravy on there. And then some nice tasting mashed potatoes. Not anything too just plain, but some nice flavor.
I would like some chunks in my potatoes. Is that too much to ask for?
Oh, I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. So we have arrived at MCL, so we'll stop in here and grab our first beef Manhattan.
All right, let's do this. All right, we're about to head into MCL Restaurant and Bakery. It used to be MCL Cafeteria. So they've been serving up Manhattans since 1950. And of course, Manhattans, as we talked about earlier, came onto the scene in 1940. So they've been serving them up for a long time. So let's go see how they taste. Alright, so we've made it inside MCL. We got our beef Manhattan. Looks like a very traditional beef Manhattan, but looks great. So we have that white bread, and they asked us if we wanted wheat bread instead, but we went with the white bread. Have some nice carved beef in there. It looked great when they were carving that up. And then some mashed potatoes, and it's covered with this brown gravy. So this looks awesome, ready to dive in and try it out. I want to talk about price as well. So the beef Manhattan ran $8.79 with tax and everything. It was $9.59, so not too bad. for this Manhattan.
All right, so we've dived into our Manhattan. We're just going to talk about it a little bit. So what do you think?
So the highlights for me would definitely be the meat. So it's freshly carved roast beef, and it's really like a nice thick slice of it, and it's very good meat. The mashed potatoes, I was hoping for chunks in my mashed potatoes, but then I remembered MCL is more of like a cafeteria style, so they're very whipped potatoes, but they are very good, and the gravy is very flavorful. So yeah, the bread could be like toasted or something. I don't know, but yeah, the bread's just normal white bread.
Okay. I would agree that the gravy is great. I really like the gravy. A lot of flavor in the gravy. And then potatoes, I'm really a fan of the potatoes. Even though they are whipped potato, I do like the flavor of them. And then the beef, like you're mentioning, a nice carved beef is great there. A nice addition to the Manhattan. I think overall this is a pretty standard Manhattan, but it's really good. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, they said it was actually one of like their most popular items here, so.
Yeah, so I think this is a win.
And this little cutie's along for the adventure. She is pretty jealous that she's not allowed to try any of these beef Manhattans yet. Oh, and she wants to say hi to the camera, but yep, she's just bringing the cuteness.
Okay, so we were just at MCL, heading to Man's Grill, kind of a local dive. What do you think?
Yeah, so MCL was really great. Really enjoyed their carved roast beef. The bread was just normal bread. Had really great gravy, so I'm looking forward to seeing if Man's, especially since it's like a dive, usually they're known for like really good food. I'm looking forward to a really good beef Manhattan. But
Yeah, I thought MCL was pretty good. Hadn't been there in a long time, but I really did enjoy their food a lot. Definitely a place I hope to hit again in the near future. I thought their Manhattan was a very traditional Manhattan, definitely what I think of when I think of a Manhattan, and I did enjoy it a lot. Excited about Man's Grill though. Their portions are always gigantic, and they always have great food at Man's Grill, so I'm excited to see what they have to offer with their Manhattan. So let's go do it and see what they have.
Yeah.
All right, we've made our way to Man's Grill, a local indie dive. Super excited about being back here. We haven't been here in a long time. The food is amazing here, and it's super cheap. It is a super small restaurant, so we're gonna just order it to go and bring it back and eat it in our vehicle, because I think it'd be hard to hear while we're recording in there. But like I said, the food is great here. Super excited to try this Manhattan and see how it tastes. The quantity is always humongous on the food here. So we're gonna go order it, bring it out, and try it out. Just a quick look here at their menu. $9 includes 2 sides, so not bad at all. There's a couple here for $9.50 with 2 sides, and then salads for $6.50, and then some sandwiches as well.
Okay, so we've grabbed our to-go order, our beef Manhattan from Man's, and just take a look at how humongous this is. So I picked up the container, and it probably weighs, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 pounds. So there's humongous portions, lots of everything, and I think it was like $9.18 right around there for the beef Manhattan with the mashed potatoes and gravy, and then it came with an extra side too. So it looks delicious. It just looks like a lot of food. So we're gonna dig in and try it here in just a bit.
So we've dived into our Man's Grill Manhattan. So what do you think?
I wanted to really love this because most of the food we've had here before has been great, but unfortunately it has really salty gravy. The gravy didn't have a great flavor to it. I still didn't get my lumpy potatoes, but I wasn't really expecting them here. And then it's really great big portions, but it just doesn't taste as good. The mac and cheese though, it's very hot, but it is delicious. It's actually really cheesy and good, so that's actually the star of the plate for me. What do you think, honey?
I would agree with you. It is a little disappointing. I think we have had a lot better things here at Man's Grill. I think after coming from MCL, I think MCL kind of set the bar high.
I was surprised.
And Man's Grill just didn't meet that bar. Yep. The meat here is just not as good a quality as it was at MCL. The gravy is a little salty here. And the potatoes are a little bland here. Like Katie is saying, the star is that mac and cheese, and unfortunately that's not part of the Manhattan, which we're looking for today. So it's a little disappointing here. The star is definitely the portion size. So if you're looking for a lot of food, this is definitely the winner as far as portion size so far.
And they also didn't serve it traditional way.
Yeah, which that may be because it's to go though.
That could be.
So we don't know because we didn't eat it inside.
That's true.
But all in all, it's been an okay dish. $9 though isn't a bad price
For all of that food.
For all that food.
So we have one more stop we're going to be making at Shapiros Deli, which is a Jewish deli. So excited to see what they have to offer. So we'll be heading there next.
Okay, we've arrived at Shapiros. So they are really well known in the Indianapolis area as a Jewish deli and bakery. They've been around for 100 years at least. So we're really hoping that their history of amazing food will pay off with our beef Manhattan here. So this, my friends, is a Shapiro's beef Manhattan, all $20 of it. I will say it does look delicious. On the menu, one thing that's kind of interesting is that it's only served after 4 p.m. and I asked why, and they said they only make mashed potatoes at that time of day. So the meat was freshly shaved. The bread looked like it was freshly made. And then I'm hoping for some good mashed potatoes. Been looking for that all day, and some really great gravy. So we're going to try this out here at Shapiro's. Okay, so we are digging into our beef Manhattan here at Shapiro's. What are your first thoughts on it?
So first thoughts is it's not too bad. I think it's a little overpriced at 20 bucks, but the flavor is okay. I think the gravy could use maybe a little more seasoning. The beef is really good. You can tell it's a pretty quality beef that's on here. The mashed potatoes aren't too bad either. You can tell that they're homemade mashed potatoes. All in all, like I said, I think it's okay. I don't think it's the best that we've had today, in my opinion. Like I said, I think it's a little overpriced at 20 bucks.
Yeah, so my first thought was, holy cow, this is some expensive beef Manhattan. $20 seems a lot overpriced for a piece of bread, well, 2 pieces of bread and some meat and some mashed potatoes and gravy. But with that being said, this is the first place that I feel like has truly been homemade mashed potatoes. You can truly tell that they're homemade mashed potatoes. They're very creamy, very buttery. They do not have any chunks in them. I've been looking for chunks in my mashed potatoes all day, but no chunks in these either. But they are delicious. I thought the gravy was actually pretty good, and the bread is really, really great too. And the meat was completely like carved off of the big thing, the roast beef. So it was overall, I thought it was pretty good. I haven't decided if it's my top one for the day or not, but I would say it was very overpriced. So now I know we stopped at Shapiro's for their beef Manhattan, but we need to show you one more thing that Shapiro's is known for. Holy cheesecake. They are known for their delicious cheesecakes of lots of different varieties and their other bakery items.
All right, so we've been to 3 different restaurants, tried 3 different Manhattans, all had 3 different ideas of what a Manhattan was. So what do you think?
I would say, first of all, my belly is full of lots of beef, lots of mashed potatoes, lots of bread. We have carved out today. So.
Right. I don't think I would ever say in a sentence that I've had 3 beef Manhattans in one day that we have done it.
So we were searching, like we mentioned at the beginning, for our best and most extreme juicy beef Manhattan. And I would say we found some good ones. We found some not so good ones. We found some really big ones. And we found some really expensive ones. Yeah. But I would rank them like this. So I would say that my favorite beef Manhattan that I found today was at Shapiro's.
Okay.
And the reason I loved it so much was not because of the price tag. I probably never get it again in my life because it's so expensive. But I would say that the mashed potatoes were super delicious. Like we mentioned in the video, they only make them after a certain time of day in the afternoon. So you know that they're creamy, they're fresh, they had great flavor. The bread was really, really great compared to the other breads that we had. I want to say the other breads were just like pulled out of like a Wonder loaf of bread or a Great Value loaf of bread.
Wouldn't be surprised if they make the bread in-house.
Absolutely, yes, because it is like a bakery and a cafeteria. So I would say that, after Shapiro's, I would probably go for the MCL. So the MCL, their meat was delicious. It was nicely carved. And that was actually my favorite meat with MCL. And then I would follow it by Man's Grill. It just was humongous, which was great if you're hungry. But it just wasn't anything to really boast about, like a really unique besides the bigness, a unique beef Manhattan. What about you?
So I would probably go with the MCL one. And the reason I picked that one is definitely because of the traditional beef Manhattan. It was laid out exactly like the 1940s version with the sides of the bread
That's true.
served on the side with the meat in the side, the potatoes right in the middle, the gravy over the top. So very traditional beef Manhattan.
Right.
The flavor was there for me. I loved that they were carving the meat right there in front of you. You could tell it was coming straight from the source. It wasn't like some canned stuff that you were getting from the back. And it had great flavor, the meat did there as well.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that. I was really impressed with MCL. I didn't know what to expect when we went in there. And MCL is definitely a place I'm looking forward to going back again.
Okay.
We hadn't been there in a long time.
Yeah.
Shapiros is probably second for me. I thought it was overpriced for what you got. And like you said, I definitely wouldn't probably be rushing back there to get the beef Manhattan. The beef was pretty good, but I liked MCL's beef better. And the bread was great. Like you said, probably fresh made there at Shapiros. All in all, it was an okay beef Manhattan. It wasn't served traditionally. I was disappointed in that. But it was an okay Manhattan. We did have the cheesecake there. We didn't talk about that, but we did have the cheesecake. The cheesecake was amazing at Shapiros. And that would definitely bring me back to Shapiros for the cheesecake. I know this is a Manhattan video, but the cheesecake, definitely go there. Try the cheesecake out. It was phenomenal. I had the cherry cheesecake. It was excellent. It was maybe better than Cheesecake Factory.
And this guy loves his cheesecake and loves his Cheesecake Factory. So, and I had the carrot cake cheesecake, and so it was layers of like actual carrot cake and cheesecake as well with a cream cheese icing. Oh my heavens, it was delicious. So
and it was definitely cheaper than Cheesecake Factory, that's for sure. It was only $7 a slice.
$7.10 a slice. But it was really great.
And then coming down the bottom was that Man's Grill. It just was lacking in flavor. The beef was not very good. You could tell it was probably like some canned beef. The bread was just standard bread. The gravy was really salty. It just was not good, which is unfortunate because we've had some great stuff at Man's Grill.
We'll go back to Man's Grill, just not for beef Manhattan.
Yeah, just beef Manhattan was lacking there.
Yeah.
So all in all, though, great experience, a great opportunity to go around, try some different beef Manhattans, and go back to the roots of Indiana and the beef Manhattan and see where it all came from.
Yep, we found it. We found some of the best ones here in the state. So I would venture to have you guys try it as well. Try some of those places that we tried out and let us know if you've had an amazing beef Manhattan somewhere in the state of Indiana or beyond that we need to give a try to. So thank you so much for watching this video. Take a moment, like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and until next time, we will see you real soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.